how manifestation actually works, the brain science and energy. I used to think manifestation was pure magic or pure nonsense. On one side, you have people talking about visualize and the universe will magically deliver. On the other side, people say it's pure psychology. Then I started learning more about the brain, the RAS, visualization, subconscious wiring, and I realized something. Neuroscience and spirituality are basically describing the same thing in different languages. So in this video, I'll not just explain what manifestation is, we'll dive deep into what actually happens in your brain when you manifest, how to improve your manifestation, the best ways, the best time, why some techniques work and others don't, and a practical system that you can start applying today. By the end of this video, you'll know how to manifest smarter, not harder. So what is manifestation? Manifestation is turning an intention into reality by rewiring your mind, embodying it emotionally, and taking aligned action. I love how Paulo Coelho puts this in The Alchemist. When you truly want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. That line's magic. It combines clarity, intention, energy, all so powerfully that opportunities just start showing up naturally. Spiritual language calls this energy, vibration, frequency, intention. Science calls this focus, attention. Whether you say raise your frequency or reprogram your brain, the end goal we're chasing is the same: to think, feel, act like the version of you that already has the goal. First, let's tackle the science layer. The science of manifestation using RAS. Your brain has a filter, the RAS. It's the reticular activating system. The RAS is the part of your brain which decides what you notice, what you observe, what comes to the forefront, what just fades into the background. At any given moment of time, your brain is taking an enormous amount of sensory information. Think about it. When you walk into a room, you notice the objects, the colors, the lights, the people, the faces, the emotions, the temperature. If all of these were just thrown at your conscious mind, you'd be completely overwhelmed. So the RAS decides what it believes matters to you, comes to the forefront, to your conscious mind, and the rest just fades into the background. The most common examples to explain RAS in effect is if you ever decide to buy a red car. You'll suddenly start seeing them everywhere. If you start becoming conscious of angel numbers, 111, 222, you'll start seeing them everywhere. It's not because they just suddenly sprung into your universe. They were always there. Your brain's now just noticing them more. So when you repeatedly focus on a goal, visualize it, and think about it emotionally, you're essentially reprogramming your RAS to notice more opportunities, recognize resources, spot patterns, and connect the dots that it would usually miss. That's selective attention, and the brain starts working in your favor. So from a brain science point of view, manifestation is telling your RAS what matters. And the fastest way to do that? Visualization. Here's the cool part. Your brain can't really tell the difference between vivid imagination and an experience that's happening really. It activates the same neural networks for both. So when you mentally rehearse calm and confidence, you start training your brain and nervous system to make it real. So if visualization rewires the brain, the next obvious question is, what is the best time to visualize? I've explained this in depth in my video on brain waves. Watch it next, but I'll give you a brief primer. For manifestation, the best time to visualize is when your brain is in theta mode for inner programming. That's right after you wake up or right when you're about to sleep or in deep meditation. And being in the gamma state when you are ready to execute and take aligned action. The simple formula is theta is for dreaming, gamma is for doing. And again, if you want to do a deep dive on how to consciously enter these states, it's all there in my video about brainwaves. Watch that next. By the way, if you're still here and like this content, I'm Gitika, and I do videos on neuroscience, mindset, spirituality, and teach you ways in which you can level up in your life, career, and relationships. If that's more your vibe, hit subscribe. So far, we've looked at manifestation from the scientific lens: RAS, visualization, neural pathways, and brainwaves. But there's another language that people have been using for centuries to describe manifestation. That brings us to spirituality. Have you ever noticed how your life changes when your energy changes? Spiritual traditions say what you vibrate, you attract. Positive energy attracts positive energy, negative energy attracts negative energy. It's the universal law of attraction. Your inner state influences how you show up, how people respond to you, how you're feeling, what your energy is like. And we've all experienced this. Energy is contagious. Places of worship calm you down. A calm person calms the room. A confident person attracts more opportunities. A depressed, complaining person pushes people away. A joyful person attracts more connection. This differentiation brings us to another important topic: lack energy versus abundance energy. How you show up, how you manifest matters. If you're coming from a place of lack, if you're constantly saying, I want, it's coming from lack energy. Lack energy will attract more lack. You'll only be wanting more always. But when you shift this to, I am receiving, I am becoming, I am open, that's abundance energy. And abundance energy attracts more possibilities. Even the Bible says, ask and you shall receive it. That means just be specific about what you want, have full faith that it's coming to you, and it will be yours. The Bhagavad Gita teaches you are what you believe. That's embody the life that you want, and it will be yours. They say attract, don't chase. Same thing. Don't come from a place of lack. Be in an abundant state, and the right opportunities will be attracted to you. Quantum leaping says the same thing. Embody the version of you that's already achieved those things, and that reality will be attracted closer to you so you can jump into it. The lucky girl or lucky boy syndrome. It's believing you're lucky and you'll attract more luck. It's rewiring your RAS, your reticular activating system, to notice more instances where good fortune has come to you. That way, you notice more positive things and start bringing to your focus more opportunities. And it's also spiritually making you a more confident person, happier person who believes that they're very fortunate. Because when you're happy, you're going to absorb and bring to yourself more positivity than an anxious, nervous version of you. Being delulu is the only solulu. Isn't that also the same thing? Be audacious, have the audacity and faith in yourself to believe that all your delusions are true, and it will happen. Now let's talk about the part that most people get confused about. What is the best way to manifest? The internet will tell you 100 things. Vision boards, moon rituals, affirmations, the 369 method, write it and forget it, write every day, journal. Which is the one that actually works? People often end up overwhelmed, not understanding what is the right way to do this and thinking maybe I didn't do it right. But here's the truth. Everything works and nothing works. Because manifestation is deeply personal. What works best is the method that you can consistently do and the one you genuinely believe in. For one person, it might be a vision board. For another, it might be affirmation. Writing, meditation, rituals, prayers, all of it can work as long as you give them the power to shift your inner state. But there is one non-negotiable practice no matter which way you manifest. The only non-negotiable is visualization and embodiment. And you need to practice this consistently. If you can do this daily, best. Just like you can't go to the gym once and expect to have abs, you can't manifest once, do the visualization once, embody having achieved your dreams once, and draw that reality closer to you. If you want to activate your RAS, you need to practice it. Or if you want to increase your energy and raise your vibration, you need to do it daily. Here's what I personally believe in and use. Step 1. Write your goal. Be specifically descriptive about what you want. Writing gives your brain a target. Step 2. Visualize in the right brainwave state. We've already discussed this. The best time to do this is when your brain is in theta mode. It could be right after you're waking up, just when you're about to fall asleep, or when you're in deep meditative zone. My simple rule is write once, visualize often. Step 3. Feel it, embody it, attract it, don't chase it. Imagine that you've already received this goal. How would you feel? How would people react to you? What would be your demeanor? How would your body language change? Really, truly feel this and don't ask in a way of I want. Say it, I am becoming, I have received, I am open, and I have achieved this goal. Step 4, and this is very important, take the next aligned step. You don't need the full plan, but you need to take small action towards your goal. Build your skills, show up consistently, make yourself more visible, say yes to the opportunities when they come your way. Think of it like this. Manifestation is like ordering a package. You don't need to have the entire delivery route mapped out. Scientifically, you can't plan everything out because your RAS has not even started comprehending and noticing the things it's supposed to yet. That'll happen over time as your brain rewires. It will learn to spot opportunities, but it won't know them right when it starts. Spiritually, you'll raise your vibration. You can't control what the universe brings to you when, but you can be ready to receive it when it shows up. All you need to do is shift your energy to match the frequency of your dreams and your desires. And just that will start creating momentum. So you don't need the full map. You need intention, aligned action, and readiness. So here are some practical examples. If you're trying to manifest a new job, update your LinkedIn profile, reach out to 3 new people, apply for 2 new roles, rehearse your interviews. If you're manifesting love, accept social invitations. Go hang out in places where people who are your type would actually be. Get on some dating apps. If you're manifesting money, pitch, post, network, improve your offer. Now, all of these are not the full plan. They're small steps, but they will create momentum. Next question I always get is how often should I manifest? Should I do it daily? Should I write it once and forget it? The answer, do it as often as you need to make the desire stop feeling desperate and for it to start feeling normal. For most people, you need to do it daily to start feeling this way. I can vouch and say visualization daily is a game changer. And you can visualize any which way that works for you. It could be a vision board. It could even be affirmations if they speak to you more. Or it could be writing and journaling or doing a ritual with a candle daily. But the key idea is to switch states from your present energy to a more powerful energy. And there are 2 ways in which you can switch states. One we've already discussed, visualization. And the other one is gratitude. Visualization helps you switch into the future state and embody it. It lets you emotionally rehearse the life you're moving towards. And gratitude helps you switch your present state into a perspective of abundance. It helps you move from lack into calm, grounded appreciation. Visualization moves you forward. Gratitude stabilizes where you are. Visualization strengthens your future and gratitude strengthens your present. Together, they create alignment and are the perfect recipe for manifestation. They make it feel more natural instead of forced. I'm actually going to do a separate video on just gratitude soon. So in the end, manifestation isn't about one perfect ritual. It's about finding or even designing that one ritual that's perfect for you. You can create one for yourself or lean into one which already exists, provided it makes you think, feel, and act differently. So to recap, the 3 ingredients for the perfect manifestation ritual are 1. Clarity of mind. Know exactly what you want. 2. emotional embodiment with the energy. Feel that that's already happened. You're already in that state. And 3, take aligned action that shifts behavior. Build new habits, take small steps so that you're ready for the opportunity when it arises. If you want to go deeper, here are some books that I recommend on the subject. You can take a screenshot and I'll add the links in the description below. I've also created a free guide called the Theta Manifestation Protocol. It talks you through step by step how to enter theta mode, how to manifest and take action in gamma mode. You can download it from the link in description below. Before we wrap up, I want to say something very important. Even when we understand manifestation, there are 3 common mistakes that can block results. Instead of squeezing all of that in this one video, I've made a short follow-up video which talks about the 3 biggest mistakes in manifesting. I recommend you watch that next. So subscribe and turn on notifications. And remember, manifestation can be magic when mind, energy, body, action all work together. Happy manifesting.